Hi, survivors. This is me, Prepper Zan, reporting to you. Hope you guys are doing well because what's going on in this world is not. Y'all, war is coming to America. With all that stuff that's going on overseas, America's dipping their nose all in all this other stuff. And if you ask me, and I'm not going to speak too much on it, I'm just telling y'all to get prepared for war because war coming to America. But because there's so much corruption. And if you ask me, all these leaders on this are on all the stuff that's going on right now, allegedly. But it would behoove us to get it together. With that stuff going on over there, on top of all this stuff that's been going on since the beginning of this pandemic. And it says nearly half of people expect a civil war, and many say they would trade democracy for a strong leader. That's another point. Y'all, people are rising up against these leaders. They smelling, they seeing, they hearing all this corruption, and people are getting tired of it. And we see right before this pandemic occurred, I think it was 2019. Y'all know all the protests and stuff that was going on over there in them other countries. And before you know it, boom, it was a pandemic. So I'm telling you, so we have to be careful because these people that's in power, they're gonna do what they got to do to try to stop us so-called little folks. But it says this is not a study that's meant to shock, says Rachel Kleinfeld, a political violence expert at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, who is not involved in research. But it should be shocking the fact that firearm deaths in the United States grew nearly 43% between 2010 and 2020. That was just between those years. Between 2020 and 2022 now, it gotta be 75% or more. I'm telling y'all, it's really, really bad out here. And gun sales surged during the pandemic. Guerin, an emergency medicine physician and longtime gun violence researcher at the University of California, Davis wondered what those trends portend for civil unrest. Sometimes being an ER emergency room doc is like being the bowman of the Titanic going, look at the iceberg, he says. He and his colleagues have surveyed more than 8,600 adults in English and Spanish about their views on democracy in the United States, racial attitudes in U.S. society, and their own attitudes towards political violence. The respondents were part of the Ipsos Knowledge Panel, an online research panel that has been used widely, included by Weinteam for research on violence and firearm ownership. The team then applied statistical methods to extrapolate the survey results to the entire country. Although almost all respondents thought it's important for the United States to remain a democracy, about 40% said having a strong leader is more important. And we don't have leadership here. Allegedly. Half expect a civil war in the U.S. in the next few years. In the next few years. The fact that basically, the survey didn't specify when. The fact that basically half the country is expecting a civil war is just chilling. Wentmute says, and many expect to take part. If found in a situation where they think violence is justified to advance an important political objective, about 1 in 5 respondents think they will likely be armed with a gun. About 7% of participants, which would correspond to about 18 million U.S. adults, said they would be willing to kill a person in such a situation. Kleinfeld says the study findings are compelling because of the large number of participants and because it asks about specific scenarios in which participants think violence is justified, such as for self-defense or to stop people with different political beliefs from voting. The sample does slightly overrepresent older people. But y'all, really, that's a small percent of it. What's going on in these other countries? In America about to get themselves, they already was involved, really, allegedly, get themselves involved in it to further bring on more chaos and more drama in our life. That's what we need to be getting ready for. Really, y'all, I saw this a couple of years. I saw this when this stuff first started happening. I told people last year, y'all better start getting ready. When they first went over there and started doing what they was doing in that other place, And I have to be careful with what I'm saying, so y'all please follow me. I told people here, I said, don't think that that won't happen over here. They lining everything and set it up to be that way. So it will behoove us to get them canned goods, get them non-perishables, keep stacking them, stacking them, stacking them, keep growing food. You know, if you can, try to get some land. I always encourage people to get land because land is still kind of affordable in a lot of places, especially in Texas. You know, and places in Tennessee and Virginia too. I'll be always looking for prices on land, so you can grow your own foods. You can build you like a little homemade underground bunker or something like that. You know, get a place to get away from these cities when this stuff go down, because it's gonna go down. And if y'all think that people gonna go hungry that's not used to going hungry over here in this country where everybody's all spoiled, poor people in this country are not as poor as places in like third world countries and stuff. People gonna do what they gotta do to eat, even if it means trying to, go in somebody's house or go through somebody's window. Even though there'll be consequences, they go through the wrong door in the wrong window. But I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be havoc on these streets. It's gonna be havoc. It's gonna be havoc. I'm telling you, get ready for war. If you don't do nothing else, get ready and stay ready. Because to me, to be honest with you, we already at war, and we don't even know it. All this stuff we dealing with on a daily basis, these are war tactics. They've gone to war with us years ago, and a lot of us are just now opening up our eyes to it. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please follow me on my other platforms. Y'all get ready. Y'all just get ready. I'd like to see more of us survive and survive these times, but a lot of people are not. A lot of people are not even prepared. They're so worldly. And they listen to these people and whatever agenda and whatever they usher on TV. All they got to do is put it out there in that media. Everybody going to bite to it. But God has separated a lot of us from it. So y'all just prepare yourselves. Follow me on my other platforms. Please support the allegedly and the good luck with that t-shirts. All the proceeds go back into the channel to keep this channel going. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can always hit that thanks button. I truly appreciate it. And if you're looking for land in bug-out areas, I do have some for sale and for lease in Texas. And as always, watch this world. Watch this world more now than ever. Because there's a lot of ugly, satanic, demonic things amongst us. Watch the water. Watch the weather. Watch the weather. I always suggest you guys go to Weatherman Plus, because he always have accurate, and he's always updating. He did a live stream during Hurricane Ian last week for about 4 to 5 hours. And then continuously, producing content to let people know. And before Ian came, he was telling people this was coming. So I always suggest people and try to refer Weatherman Plus to people. Smell your water. Don't just go to using that water without smelling it. Boil your water before you use it and keep surviving.